love that. And I love like that if you're open and honest with a friend and say, look, I'm focusing on this. I've got this competition coming up. I'm not ignoring you, but I need to be focused on this. How about we go and grab a coffee when I come back? Most
Yeah.
people are fine with that. It's just that moment of when you don't speak to anybody and then you come back. I have a friend who every time he's in a relationship, you don't see him for 6 months till they
Of
break up,
course.
and then they come back and suddenly he wants to be your friend. And you're like, yeah, come on,
You're like, really, dude, really? Yeah.
But that's just a guy thing, I think.
Yeah. It's not just a guy thing. It happens, I think anyone, any gender, it happens to everyone. I mean, someone gets into a relationship, you don't see them forever. But I think it comes down to your support system. Who are the people you have in your corner? Who are the people that support you? Because at the end of the day, someone who supports you is going to understand that. They're going to go,
Hmm.
yeah, you need to focus on this right now. That's your goal. This is how close it is. You need to take this time to focus on that. So, again, having the right people on your side, the right people support you, it really makes a difference.
And how do you find this where you're marketing yourself? You're trying to raise money to go and to get support, because as an amateur athlete, you don't always get the governing body support, funds for hotels, accommodation, flights, all the stuff you need to live, like food and all
I
the fun
have
stuff.
never gotten any of that from any sanctioning body, and not
Yeah.
just me, any athlete, especially in the amateur
It's a
K1
joke, isn't it?
kickboxing or Muay Thai. You just don't. There is no funding for it. It's not super recognized Canada wide as of yet. It's getting there, but we just don't have that funding that, even Team Canada Boxing has. Boxing is a lot more funded than Team Canada Kickboxing is. So it is very hard. And I mean, it's very unfortunate that I know a lot of athletes who are fantastic athletes who just can't afford to go do these things. And I mean, they are getting the amateur fights they are here in Canada, but it comes to a point where you go, okay, I'm fighting the same guys over again. Same thing with me. I've been fighting the same three girls in Canada for the past like 3 years now because there's no one else.
Hmm.
So you have to go internationally. You have to, broaden your horizons. You have to get different competition. But if you can't afford that, and of course, Canada can't support that financially for these athletes, then I mean, you're stuck. You can't really do anything, which is super unfortunate, but it's just what it is right now.
Well, then how do you deal with it as you start going international? When you suddenly become the person people want to interview, the person that people want to come up to you, and take your photo, the people you might get negative comments on social media, you might start getting the creepy guys like ogling you while you're training. But how do you start dealing with the stardom of it, because you're marketing yourself because you're the professional fighter. So the same way Conor McGregor gets the trolls having a go at him for him promoting his whiskey and stuff like that, or when you're suddenly asked to do interviews, how are you finding that transition from just fighting to actually having to tailor the fighter, the whole package, if you know what I mean?
Um, it's interesting that you say that because it kind of the way that my social media kind of went out and went up kind of happened organically.
Hmm.
I didn't do much to promote myself or post every single day at the right times for the algorithm. It's like
It's interesting when you
I
look
was just
at it, because you go
yeah,
from like school to suddenly you're multiple massive stadiums. You're like, what?
yeah, I was just being myself, honestly.